and the New York Giants. Two teams here, each off to 1-0 starts as this one is underway on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. On the ground, this is Saquon Barkley. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Credit the tackle to Darius Slay.
Somebody call for the queen.
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the folium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you got the picture me, Pacific ice on my ocean, ready for. So hot, yeah. Big racks better calm down, yeah. If you go around, come around, yeah. Whole squad, yeah. Squad goes on the, yeah. Make some orange gel on my toes, yeah. Farrakhan glass for the chosen, yeah. You can go and get mad, jumping in the bed with 2 dark teeth, and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, do my tag on, I got it in the bag now, getting all type of cash on my general crew. I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with that. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving the. I told him to the hunter, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rest in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning, I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a sis by the morning, I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the folium, I had a in my shoulder, you got a picture, you
We're calling, ready for war like Korea. Headlining shows out in Poland. You should be cleaning. Money goes on these white paint on my toes. When I seen that new Bay alert, gonna be mad. Jumping in the bed, then I switch to the ghost like who's you? Remember this face, cause I'm that you gon' lose too. Dripping in ice, you looking at you. It's squad goals win. Are you pretty like no, no?
I never killed anybody, but I got something to do with it. I got the streets on my back, carry it like I'm moving them. I told him to 100, like he trying to move it up. It was like 11 in the morning, skipping school, that's a truancy about it. I made me some rats in the morning, I had me a pop by the morning. I had me some breaks by the morning, I had a six by the morning. I got on a meat on the morning, the rats keep me up on the podium. I had a in my shoulder, you got a bitch. Jumping in the bed with two dark teeth, and who's you? My shawty pulling up with a real bad, you too. Dripping my swag, about tag on I got it in the bag, now I'm getting all type of cash, I'm a general true.
And thank you, Coach. We are across the Hudson from Midtown Manhattan at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the New York Giants. More now on the return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. The first carry for the former Nittany Lion. This is Saquon Barkley. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down, here's Keenum. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
Well, we're not playing 3 yards in a cloud of dust football anymore. I kind of get why those old school coaches sometimes didn't want to throw the football. Because if it's popped up in the air, it almost turns into slow motion. And both sides trying to get to the football, and you're holding your breath wondering whether it's going to go good or bad for your team.
Throwing on 3rd down, Keenum. He dumps it off to Barkley. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that's going to make it 4th down.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
And middle.
A first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's a run that'll energize an offensive line. They'll take that one all day long. Fundamental breakdown by the defense. You've got to be able to make plays on the edge.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And he's got some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
That's a very nice game there. A confidence-building run. Love the execution up front. And the way he pressed the hole, absolutely perfect.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. On first down, Stafford here. Wide open receiver complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Well, I mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
A first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
First carry for Amir Abdullah. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. That O-line, they cleared a big hole there on that run.
The athleticism of offensive lines continues to evolve, and we're seeing it here. Not only are they controlling things right at the line of scrimmage, but they're able to get upfield to get to what we call the second and the third levels. You know, get to the linebacker spot, the secondary spot, getting all the way downfield with their blocking, which helps keep the running back clean.
They'll try to continue that trend here this afternoon. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets them up first. Well, they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, how you guys going to come out of the gate? I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really.
And he has his receiver. That's Jones. Lions touchdown. Marvin Jones, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Lions are going to take a first-quarter lead. And he'll bang that one through. A first scoring update now from Carolina. And it's the Panthers there out to the early advantage. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. More now to return. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And now out come the Giants. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Looking deep for Demarius. And, oh, my goodness, what a catch at the 6. It's a big play. Keenum to Thomas, 57 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
They'll try and run for it with Barkley. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He's going to get it running right. And he will push his way forward down to about the 3-yard line. Calling a gain of a yard as they get a little bit closer here. It's 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Keenum now on 3rd and goal. And that is out of the back of the end zone, incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A good drive gets him inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. There to stop him on the defensive side, Lorenzo Carter.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. To throw on 2nd down to Stafford. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Marvin Jones that time, and it's 3rd down.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Out of the gun, Stafford. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. This is taken at about the 14. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. New York set to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now Keenum throwing on 2nd. Looking for Shepard deep. It got his man complete. Past the 20. 10. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Giants strike quickly here for 6 points. Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead is now 10-7. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
A very solid gain of 27. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Stafford on first down. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
They'll try again from the 36 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Johnson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go. 11.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. Johnson with a burst, a first down and more. This is Johnson, he's got it. And down to the 16-yard line. 18 yards there and a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
From the red zone now, Stafford. Forced out to his left. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's 2nd down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Detroit! Detroit!
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Flushed out right. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards in the first.
I think we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But you know there's some really upset defenders on that one.
He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Lions are in for 6. And that makes it 14-10. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Giants offense now gets ready to head back onto the field. Touchdowns on back-to-back drives. So a very good flow right now offensively.
Hard to slow them down, too, because they are locked in. Feel like the offense coordinator's a little bit ahead of the defensive guys right now. They're beating them to the punch with their play calls. They've got a nice rhythm they're locked into. How can the defensive guys come up with something that'll disrupt that flow? That's what they're seeking right now.
Well, it's been an exciting sequence to watch. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
A first down carry for Barkley. And that play will go nowhere, losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Keenum to throw on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's a gain of 9 yards. And that'll make it third down. A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here.
Roger.
Throwing is Keenum. Escaping the pressure right. And he will have a man, Demaryius Thomas. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A good pickup there of 20 yards. On 1st and 10, Keenum. And this is caught at the 8. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up.
And he finds Shepard. Touchdown, Giants. Sterling Shepard with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Giants are in for 6. It's good, and they'll take a 17-14 lead. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. To return, here's Agnew. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. So here come the Lions now. And Charles, the way touchdowns have come so fast and furious for both sides of this thing, it's starting to feel a little bit more like maybe a tennis match at a football game.
Yeah, I like your description there. Maybe we're sitting in a nice royal box watching this type of a game. But let's face it, right now, the way it's going back and forth, it's going to come down to who can get a stop.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty. So that'll back him up 5. The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Following the penalty, it's Johnson. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Whenever we meet with coaches and they always talk about wanting to establish running the football, it's oftentimes with a good tight end who can control the line of scrimmage and the point of attack, and they're becoming harder to find because the colleges are giving us a whole lot of receiving tight ends, former wide receivers who can run, not necessarily block very well. In this case, though, we saw 2 tight ends on the field, both of them with the ability to block, and he ran the ball successfully behind that power set.
Flush to his right. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Throwing is Stafford. And his throw here is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. It'll be a pickup of 13, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Here's Sam Martin now as he'll kick it away for the second time. Oh, he's going to go ahead and field it from the 3-yard line. So dangerous with a football in his hands. Call that a return of 38. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. Second quarter in Cleveland. And the Bengals out to the early advantage. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Now a play fake here on first down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. Thank you, sir. A field goal separates these two teams as we come back for this second half. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. The Lions offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Caught right side, Tate. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one goes for 36 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1. From the gun, here's Stafford. They'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done. The result, a first down as a quick slant gets him 14.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Here's Stafford now on second down. And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. As his guys are in for 6, and the Lions are in for 6.
And that drive we just saw that culminated in a touchdown, exactly what many offenses are looking for. Sustained ones that can impose their will on the other team.
Here's Prater now set to kick it away. Moore now on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here's the Giants offense now getting set to start the third quarter. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half two.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First play of the drive, a success, 19 yards. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. On 1st and 10, here's Keenum. Looking for Shepard deep. And that'll be incomplete as it's knocked away. But a penalty flag is down. So who's this going to be on? The chain gang hustling to catch up. Here's 1st and goal from just inside the 10. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. He pushes forward from maybe 3 down to the 6-yard line.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Here's Keenum now on 2nd down. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and goal. Keenum going to throw. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. Rhett Ellison, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Giants are in for 6. Point after, right down the middle. And that gives them a 3-point lead. Now the punter Dixon out to kick it off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the inline. So out now come the Lions. They had seized the lead there for a little bit with a starting drive in the 3rd quarter, but a moment ago the touchdown that puts them back behind.
So their defense is under siege a little bit right now because they have not able to solve their opponents. So they've got to keep hammering away on offense and try and win this one in what appears to be a shootout.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Play action. Stafford. Oh, he rifles one that's intercepted. He's picked off near his own 48, and they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. He's on quite the interception run. He had 2 last week, another one here. Remember, he's not a DB, he's a linebacker.
But how many of those linebackers started as DBs and pumped themselves up into being linebackers? So the ball skills are the same, right? The coverage skills and responsibilities are the same, and he is paying it off in a big, big way.
A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. Keenum now to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Saquon Barkley. And he's got room. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll go to Barkley again, and he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Here's a give to Barkley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop. And now they'll throw with Keenum. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a 3rd down. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
Keenum going to try and throw on 3rd down. They'll set up the screen to Barkley.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. They go back to the ground now with Barkley. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And a pickup of about 4 down inside the 10 to the 8-yard line.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Throwing now is Keenum. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Christian Jones, the one who picked it. And a short return will be stopped inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he'll find some room to get this up to about the 14. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They'll fake the give. Now Stafford. And a giant rush gets home as down he goes.
Hey, normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
And the interception earlier, now a sack. But he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
To throw is Stafford. And Stafford's going to be taken down. That's a safety. Now, the 2 points, that's not totally critical at this point. Still a one-score game, but they do have to give away the football with no guarantees they're going to get it back.
Yeah, or at least if they get it back, will they have any time to do anything with it? So they've got to send their defense out there and say, guys, we got to have it right now. Save some time for us.
New York set to take the field. Right now clinging to a one-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling.
And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. On second down, here's Keenum. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Ziggy Ansah in there to get him. And this pass rush strong now. That's sacks on back-to-back plays. Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long. They'll go option to the short side. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. The keeper nets him only a yard, and that's going to bring up 4th.
Typically on the read option play, when we talk about responsibilities, we're talking about what the quarterback has to go through. How about the inside linebacker, though? His job on this play, shadow the quarterback and hold him to a short gain. Did it to perfection.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And last time they surrendered the safety, we know they don't want to do that again.
That is just one of those oddities in scoring that we get, and it's just so strange to see that go up on the board, and then you got to make sure that that doesn't happen to your team again. They've got to take care of the ball.
But, boy, it juices up the defense.
Oh, without a doubt. That's a great way to score some points.
And to the left side here, Wilson. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
On the ball, on the ball.
On second down, here's Stafford. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
Big 20.
9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. They'll look to throw. He's got Wilson, middle of the field. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. He'll look to throw. Being chased out left. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. They come out here in the eye. On the sneak, it's Stafford. And he's going to take it in for a Lion touchdown. Matthew Stafford in the final minute. And the Lions have taken the lead here in the 4th quarter. And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Now this time he'll look to throw. And this is caught. And it's a 3-point game. So that effort gives him a 3-point cushion and guarantees that a field goal going forward won't beat them.
Yeah, that's really good strategy because that's all you care about. Not getting beat at this stage. At least give your team a fighting chance.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. And here comes the Giants offense back out onto the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. He's got a man complete. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. As the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
Hey, go Roger. Man down.
He's back to throw. And that is caught. But he will come down out of bounds, says the side judge. Incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Sterling Shepard. That'll bring up 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, go Roger. Roger.
Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. The way he's throwing the football today, almost a surprise when he doesn't complete a pass like happened there, but he needs a few more to get his guys downfield.
Well, the way he's thrown it leads him to believe that he's going to get those completions. And that means the guys going out for passes, they'll run even harder because they expect it as well.
On 3rd down, Barkley. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. And now before this 1st down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds remaining.
Man down. Man down. Roger.
Back to throw. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. To return, here's Agnew. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short in the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. So after all of this, it comes down to one final play.
And just think of what it's going to be, because from this distance, you've got to be prepared for everything. Hook and laterals, tip balls, you name it. A lot of laterals after a catch. Just got to be prepared, stay on your feet defensively, and tackle someone.
One last throw here for Stanford. And he can't get away from the pressure. The Giants get there.